Growing up, I always knew I was the less important son. My parents weren't just wealthy, they were obsessed with status. Everything was about appearances. The perfect house, the perfect vacations, the perfect family image. But if you scratched the surface, it was all a facade. And the only thing that mattered to them was my older brother, Adam. Adam was the golden child, the one they poured all their money and attention into. Meanwhile, I was just there. They never said it outright, but I always felt like a burden. If Adam got a new car for his birthday, I got a used one. If Adam got private tutoring, I was told to figure it out. If Adam got a trust fund, I got a handshake. I wasn't lazy. I worked hard, got my MBA, learned everything about my father's business, and even helped expand it. But no matter what I did, the credit always went to Adam. And when my father passed away, I found out just how little they thought of me. The will that screwed me over. After my father died, I wasn't expecting much, but I wasn't expecting to be completely erased. When the will was read, I sat there in shock. Adam got the company, the house, and nearly everything. My mother got access to a massive trust fund. And me? I got $50,000. That might sound like a lot, but compared to the hundreds of millions in the estate, it was an insult. That amount was less than what my father used to spend on a single vacation. And the worst part? My mother had helped push this. She sat there, giving me that fake, patronizing smile. We just thought this was best for the family, sweetheart. Best for the family? I was part of the family. Or at least, I thought I was. I left that meeting furious. But instead of sulking, I decided to fight back. Finding the loophole. The will might have screwed me over, but I knew my father wasn't as careful as he thought. Since I had worked in the business, I knew there were assets, investments, and legal gaps my parents never bothered to look into. So I got a damn good lawyer. And guess what? We found loopholes. Some of the real estate properties weren't properly transferred to Adam. My father left aside investment portfolio that wasn't mentioned in the will. And the biggest one? The business itself wasn't structured properly. Legally, I had a claim. So I sued. Not just for my share, but for mismanagement, improper allocation of assets, and breach of fiduciary duty. Adam thought it was a joke. My mother called me ungrateful and told me to stop embarrassing the family. But I didn't stop, exposing the lies. While the lawsuit dragged on, I started digging deeper. And that's when I discovered something even worse. My dear mother had been funneling money out of the company for years. Untaxed, unreported money. She had been hiding assets overseas while crying about how difficult life was as a widow. So I made sure the IRS knew. Next thing you know, audit time. Mom went into full meltdown mode. She begged me to make it go away. I told her, the same way you told me I was getting nothing, now it's your turn. Meanwhile, Adam's management of the company was a disaster. The business started losing money, investors pulled out, and clients lost confidence. Turns out, he was only successful because our father covered for his mistakes. Without Dad's safety net, he was crashing and burning. Winning big. By the time the lawsuit settled, the company was in bad shape. My mom was drowning in legal fees and tax issues, and Adam had lost millions in failed deals. And me? I walked away with a multi-million-dollar settlement. Not only did I get my rightful share, but I also bought out a chunk of the business at a fraction of its worth. Adam, desperate for cash, had to sell part of his stake. And guess who bought it? Me. Where are they now? My mother still has money, but not nearly as much. She's bitter, and our relationship is non-existent. Adam is struggling to keep the company afloat. He lost the golden child status when he started losing money. And me? I used my settlement to start my own business, and I'm doing better than ever. The best part? I won without sinking to their level. They thought they could cut me out. Instead, I took my share anyway. Update. My narcissistic parents tried to cut me out of my inheritance because of my golden child brother, but I took my share anyway. My wealthy, narcissistic parents cut me out of my inheritance and gave everything to my golden child brother, Adam. I fought back, found loopholes in the will, sued, exposed their financial fraud, and walked away with a multi-million-dollar settlement. Oh, and I also ended up owning part of the company my brother ran into the ground. Now, you might be wondering, how did my parents take it? Well, they hated me. At first, The downfall of my family. After I got my share and left, things went south for them fast. My mother got heavily audited and ended up paying back a small fortune in fines. Adam, now solely responsible for the family business, proved how utterly incompetent he was. The company started hemorrhaging money because he had no clue how to manage it without my father's safety net. Investors pulled out. Clients left. Their reputation tanked. And soon, Adam had to sell off even more of his stake to me. So there I was, holding a growing share of the very empire they tried to deny me. Did I feel bad? Not one bit. They made their choice. They just didn't expect to suffer the consequences. The first signs of desperation. At first, my mother was radio silent. No calls. No texts. Not even a nasty email. I figured she had written me off entirely, which was fine by me. But then, 6 months after the lawsuit settled, I got a message from my cousin. Hey, just a heads up, your mom has been asking about you. A lot. I laughed. Oh, now she was interested? Turns out, she had been telling extended family that I misunderstood the situation and that she never wanted to cut me out completely. Really? Because I distinctly remember her smiling as I got basically pocket change while Adam inherited an empire. Then, a few days later, I got the first direct message from her. It was simple. We should talk. Family is more important than money. I hope you understand that now. I left her on read. When ignoring them wasn't enough. After I ignored my mother's attempt to guilt-trip me, things escalated. She started calling. I didn't pick up. Then came the emails. More fake sweetness. More guilt-tripping. Then she showed up at my office. That's when I knew she was truly desperate. I had security escort her out. That led to the meltdown of the century. She sobbed. She screamed about family loyalty. She even told my secretary that she was just a loving mother trying to make amends. I wasn't falling for it. She wanted access to my money. She wanted to fix Adam's failures. She didn't give a damn about me, only what I could do for her. After she left, I got a text. You are the most ungrateful, selfish son I have ever raised. There it was. The real her. I blocked her. Enter. My brother, the failure. Right when I thought the drama was dying down, Adam reached out. At this point, the company was in shambles. He had lost millions in bad deals, and he needed an investor. He begged me to help him. Come on, man. You already have a stake in the company. If we go under, you'll lose money too. I told him, that's a risk I'm willing to take. Because here's the thing. I didn't want the company. I had already built my own successful business with the money I won from the lawsuit. Adam was drowning, and he wanted me to save him. But where was he when I was cut out of the family? Oh, right. He was celebrating. The last straw. My parents begging me to come home. A month later, I got a final call. My mother and Adam together. For the first time since this whole mess started, they were nice. Mom, sweetheart, let's put the past behind us. We just want our family to be whole again. Adam, yeah, man, this has all gone too far. We need to stick together. I almost laughed. These were the same people who told me to accept my fate when they stole my inheritance. The same people who mocked me for fighting back. And now? They were begging me to come back. I told them exactly what they told me years ago. I just think this is what's best for the family. And I hung up. Final update. Where we stand now. My mother is still bitter. She's lost a lot of money and can't keep up her high society lifestyle. Adam's company? Practically dead. He's desperately looking for a buyer, and I have a feeling he's going to have to sell his last remaining shares. And me? I'm happier than ever. I built my own business. I surrounded myself with people who actually care about me. And best of all, I no longer have to deal with toxic family members who only see me as a walking wallet. They wanted me gone. Now, they're the ones chasing after me. And I have zero intention of looking back.